So I made this whole video about the tariffs and how they're going to change everything. I started doing research into trade wars, what's going to happen to the price of gold, what does it mean for the economy with the 25% tariffs. And 3 days later, tariffs are gone. Trump reversed them. But maybe they come back next month. So this is one of the problems with news trading or trying to trade off fundamentals or macro events is, man, sometimes the news changes too fast. Things just change too fast. And honestly, I think a lot of this stuff, the politics, is surface level stuff. I do think some fundamentals are worth looking at where, okay, is the market overvalued? What's the amount of leverage in the system and so on? However, there's also times where the market is totally irrational and ignores all fundamentals. An example of this time is the stock market bubble that peaked in 2000, that ran up in the late 90s, where companies that had no business, no revenue, no plan to make money, got massive valuations simply because they threw .com on their name. So these things can run longer than expected. But this is why I just default back to technical systems, because usually the technicals will show up in the fundamentals, or the fundamentals will show up in the technicals. And thinking the market's going to do something because news or change, well, the market's going to agree or disagree. The market's going to do what it wants to do. So you can look at how the market reacts to news. I think that's the more valuable thing. Is this news perceived to be bullish or bearish, and how does the market react? So I think the most useful thing is if there's bullish news and the market sells off, that's the sign of a really weak market. Or if there's bearish news and the market rallies. So an example is, in Trump's first week of office, he had an executive order. He had two. He had one for cryptocurrency, making it a strategic, or making it a national priority, and the other was a sovereign wealth fund, which presumably would include Bitcoin. And on this news, Bitcoin sold off. So that's the sign of a really weak market. And those things are worth paying attention to. I'm not going to say there's no value in trading news. You can't just trade. It's I guess there's a lot of edge there potentially because it's so subjective. It's really subjective. News trading. News trading is very subjective. So it's too much to keep up with at times. It's because there's endless news. Once you start going into the worms, you can go down forever. There's something beautiful about just following trading systems that either follow trends, or if you crack the code on some sort of market inefficiency, which I like to do both. Occasional news trades can be interesting, but yeah, it was kind of funny to me where I'm like, oh shit, the tariffs, and then a couple days later it was like, no tariffs. And then the market reacts. Is it like, okay, the market reacts that way because it thought the tariffs weren't going to happen, or the market react that way because it's strong? It's just I guess there's a difference between news and fundamentals. Fundamentals are underlying data about the market, like the PE ratio is a fundamental. The Buffett indicator is a fundamental. The commitment of traders report is a fundamental. And news are events, which tend to be shorter term. But the thing about news, something like the tariffs, it's news. It's a news event that's also can become a fundamental. So those are things worth paying attention to when something fundamental comes through the news, like a major change. Okay, let's take a look here. I'm checking out the surf, seeing if it looks surfable. Looks okay. It doesn't really look great. It looks okay. Actually, looks kind of good. Might go out for sunset. We'll see. All right. Where am I going right now? Just went by the farmer's market. Got a bunch of things. And I'm about to go I'm about to go get my bike repaired. Anyways, comment down below what y'all think. What do y'all think about that news? What do you think about trading news in general? Appreciate y'all. Much love. Talk to you soon.